Welcome to the Wakeup Options presented by Miami University Fighters Guild. All opinions presented here within belong to the people involved and are not representative of the university or the organization at large. My name is Aaron. I am the social media marketing manager. I'm a Mortal Kombat and Injustice player mostly. And here today to join me, I've got our... what exactly do you? Your console custodian, Brandon?
Yeah, I'm technically over equipment.
Yeah, so we've got our equipment manager, Brandon, and our first of probably many special guests, Kennedy.
Yeah.
Go ahead and introduce yourselves, guys.
Oh, I can go first?
Yeah, I'll let you go first.
Love it, man. It's your boy, Skinny Phil, a.k.a. Anime Anonymous, a.k.a. Matt's sworn mortal enemy. And I don't have a position in this organization. I'm not responsible enough for that. I just show up, play video games, specifically Weeb shit and Street Fighter. Free Melty Blood. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I don't even follow that one up. I sound normal in comparison.
Yeah.
But, Brandon, I said I'm the equipment manager. I mostly end up playing Tekken, although I've branched out into almost anything at this point. Two main focuses recently have been Dragon Ball due to the new season, and I've picked up some Street Fighter 5 recently.
All right, fantastic. So we do have an agenda today. We didn't just bring Kennedy on for no reason. I mean, it's partly for no reason, but also
It's
for
because
fun.
I was around and Matt isn't here to stop me.
Pretty much. That's why I'm in charge, because Matt's not here to stop me.
Yeah, he's over at PAX East at the moment.
Yeah, he's in...
Wandering the streets of Boston,
Yeah.
lost and confused, ducking the coronavirus.
Exactly. He's in Boston with his people. White people.
Oh, yeah.
I really can't say that because I'm white, so it changes nothing.
No,
And Brandon's white, so it changes nothing.
No, I got you.
Yeah.
Matt is wandering the streets of Boston with his people.
Yeah.
White people. There we go.
Okay, cool. Now it was said.
Guys, the third episode.
It's a good episode.
Episode 3. That's all we need.
Yeah.
You know episode 3 jumps the shark. This is Wake Up Options Tokyo Drift at this point.
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot.
Alright. So we're going to be talking Dragon Ball FighterZ Season 3. All the buffs, all the nerfs, the fact that the UI looks competent this time. Like the character select screen doesn't look like complete garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's some crazy stuff. It used to look bad. Now it looks serviceable.
Look, I mean, anything's better than BB tags, though.
That's true.
Right?
That's true. It's got drop-down menus, and you gotta scroll to the side. It's like
BB tags is just 4 lines. They can just scroll through vertically, but you can't see all the characters at one time in a line.
I'll never understand that decision.
Well, when they had it in beta, they were like, "Well, this is temporary." I mean, this will really irritate you because it's awesome for Marxists. They said that the UI was temporary because it was in the beta, but then the game just released with that UI.
Crazy. We'll get to that.
And then when they had their big 2.0 update where they changed every other piece of UI, they didn't change the character select screen.
Still scrolling.
Yep.
Oh man.
here I am just like going through an Excel sheet trying to figure out which character I want to play. It's like, which weeaboo anime girl do I want to play this time? Which, nope, not that one.
Select a waifu.
Exactly.
It's like a waifu slot machine.
Pretty much. Yeah, but Krillin is top tier now.
Yeah!
I mean,
now I gotta play Dragon Ball again. I quit long ago, but if Krillin is top tier, man,
Yeah, I think
I'm playing.
like they nerfed GT Goku to hell, and he's still up there.
Not really. His assist was unchanged.
Well, yeah, but like all the stuff they did to him to like make him less powerful, it's like, well, now you just gotta work around it. It's like nerfing a top tier character in every other game. It's like nothing really changes. They're still really good. It's like this character was well designed, and every other character just isn't as good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends. There's some characters you can make a light change or two, and they're dead. I mean, look at SF5. Like SF5 season 1 to season 2 was a fucking shift. Sorry, wait, am I allowed to say that?
I don't think anybody's gonna tell us not to. It's not like we're monetizing this on YouTube.
All right, it was a heckin' shift. I tell you what, boyo.
Oh, man.
Hey man, I can't have you saying heck here on my Christian Minecraft server.
Yeah,
It was
man.
the last time I could have played Ryu. I
That
wasn't
was-
around then,
You
though.
weren't around to play Ryu then. That was the last time you could have played Ryu. That's
Man,
the
why
last.
can't my super stun anymore?
Probably the last time you could have seriously played Chun-Li.
I don't know, people are trying her now.
Yeah, no.
People are trying everything now.
People are trying everything.
Yeah.
I'm trying Alex in season 4.
That's dangerous. Man. You should have been around before when he was still not good, but people didn't know he wasn't good yet. So, you could get away with some shit.
The Twitter comebacks.
The Twitter comebacks. Shout out to the Twitter comebacks, honestly. Nobody is hungrier for a Twitter clip than an Alex player. They want it.
Yeah.
They want it bad.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? Why do you think I'm playing Kage now? I just need to demon people.
You need to demon
Stomp,
people.
loop, and demon people.
You need to jump over, but wait, teleport back mid. You
Sorry, I can't do that with demon. Wrong V trigger.
Oh, right. You have to be in the I forgot about that.
But I can do the cool triple DP combo
You can do the cool triple DP
with
combo.
V trigger 1, which I have no idea how to do right now.
Don't worry about it. Kage's bad. Don't figure it out.
He's farther up on the tier list than Ryu is.
Yeah, but you like playing Ryu more. He doesn't play like Ryu.
I know he doesn't.
He plays like Akuma, but smart.
He plays like Bison. But dumb like Bison. My IQ.
Look, man, plus frames are nice.
Exactly. Plus frames are nice.
The best Ryu has is +2. On crouching medium punch.
Whatever.
Kage's is +3, because reasons.
Yeah, no, yeah.
He's just better Ryu.
Ryu doesn't deserve plus frames.
He's poster boy.
He's the guy on the box. Why can we let the guy on the box be good?
Because this isn't Mortal Kombat. We can't just let Scorpion be the best character online.
I'm gonna
all
say,
the time.
isn't Scorpion like the best character in every game, or up there in every game?
He's up there. His online stuff is really strong because of his teleport punch.
The online special.
Exactly. It doesn't work on offline because, even if the netcode for Mortal Kombat is better than most other fighting games,
It's still netcode.
it's still netcode.
Right.
So there's like a frame delay, and it's like, that's predictable, right? Right?
Probably, most likely. Well, I feel like it'd be, I don't know, things like that would be more, or rather easier to deal with in Mortal Kombat considering block button.
Funny enough, the strat for getting around Scorpion's teleport right now is actually not block button, it's just crouch. Because it's high.
Oh.
They changed it after launch because they're like, wait, a mid-teleport punch that's kind of fast, that's kind of strong in a game where nobody has any mobility options. So now it's just...
Yeah, that's one of the big things people complained about coming into 11, isn't it? They
Yeah.
put a lot of mobility.
When
Run's
you lost-
gone?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you lost
run is
Ron.
gone. The neutral roll from Injustice 2 is gone.
Okay.
I mean, you can wake up roll, but that's
Different.
Not, it's not
Yeah,
the same.
that's
Yeah, it's
something
a
different.
significantly slower game, or it wants to be, and then Liu Kang and Geras happen, and it's just like, oh, I see. So you
Time travel.
not only time travel, but you have removed my health bar. Yeah, they Geras came out and he was top 3, and then they nerfed Aaron Black, and he became. Then they nerfed Aaron Black and Geras became top 2. Then they nerfed Geras and he became the best character in the game.
See, that's where I thought this was going. They nerfed Geras and he became top 3, not 2 or 3.
No, he became like the best character in the game after they nerfed him. They made something like they slowed down frames, which got rid of his old BS. And somebody found new BS that's even stronger, and they're just like, we're not going to address this. We're NetherRealm. We're in Chicago.
We're making a new game as we speak to replace this one.
We're too busy jerking off Todd McFarlane.
But he let us spawn though.
I know, and he is making the action figures, but also
I did see those action figures.
they're not bad.
They're not bad.
They're not as good as the imports, but that's the general problem with American action figures.
Yeah.
But Kennedy, how you feel about Guilty Gear?
Oh boy! All right.
All right, we'll start with how you feel about the franchise as a whole, and then we'll talk about your experience with Xrd,
Okay.
and then we'll let you talk about the elephant in the room.
Okay. My experience with the franchise as a whole, love it. Love it. I love this weeb shit. I'll be in it till I die. But yeah, no. As far as experience with the franchise as a whole, first Guilty Gear I played was X2 Accent Core plus R.
That's like a Capcom name.
Oh yeah. So Guilty Gear X2 Accent Core plus R. That was the first Guilty Gear I played. It was completely dead online because I was playing plus R on Steam. in like the year like 2013.
Ooh, we got a flashback.
Yeah.
2013.
Oh yeah. Then Exerd came out. Started playing some Exerd, which was not dead online. But I just spent all the time getting my ass beat by Japanese people.
Sounds like a fighting game.
But it made me resilient. And it gave me a grit and a moxie that other people just couldn't produce, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, where you just picked the top tier character and went with that.
Look, sometimes you gotta pick top tiers, man.
Sometimes you gotta disappoint your parents.
You disappoint your parents, play Faust. But don't worry, even if your parents hate you while you play Faust, I'll love you. Listener, I will. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I've played Guilty Gear ever since. Gone to local tournaments, play tournaments here. Had a Guilty Gear boot camp last night because Matt wasn't here to stop me.
Yeah, no, I learned Guilty Gear, which is something I thought I'd never say.
Oh yeah.
I don't, okay, so my first experience with Guilty Gear was like 2 years ago when I was still like deeply entrenched in Injustice 2 is the greatest video game ever made.
Mm-hmm.
The Last of Us is for chumps.
Why would you even be comparing those two games? Man,
I just was.
man, forget this narrative-driven third-person action game. This fighting game
With superheroes? Hell yeah.
My men in tights would stomp on Joel and Ellie.
I mean, you're not wrong.
It's not an unfactual statement.
It's not an unfactual statement. No, I was like, oh yeah, Injustice 2 is the best game ever. Street Fighter 5? Nah.
Okay, well that's not
Dragon
a
Ball
fair opinion
FighterZ?
at all.
Yo,
Nah.
eight frames.
Dragon
Eight.
Ball.
That was when the 8 frames are still alive and kicking.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball FighterZ? Nah. Other video games? Nah.
Air itself?
Nah.
Don't need it.
Don't need it. I just eat, sleep, and breathe Green Lantern. Green Lantern, that's all I need. I just eat, sleep, and breathe zone pressure. Zone pressure. Now, and then our buddy Evan was like, hey, Aaron, you ever heard of a Guilty Gear? And I'm like, that sounds like weeb shit.
That sounds like hentai.
And I looked at him like, I don't like this aesthetic. I'm going to write off everything else about the game. Everything else. I'm like, it doesn't look like Injustice. This must be trash. And I went on that assumption for 2 years. And then I finally tried it last night. And that is some silky smooth gameplay right there.
Oh yeah.
That is some silky smooth shit.
So many mechanics.
I did have the unfortunate pleasure playing against Dan.
Look, man, just 6p.
Just 6p, dog.
Just 6p. It's
Just-
all you need.
I can't 6p with a giant Potemkin fist in my face. Not even Johnny is capable of that.
That is true.
He had too much armor. I had not enough
Look, just
coins.
6p, the ICBM.
I had not enough coins.
The ICPM always hits.
Like I said, I had not enough coins.
Yeah, of course. The intercontinental Potemkin missile always hits.
Look, man, whenever I play Guilty Gear, I don't get to play the game because I'm either just counterpicking people or I'm playing you, Kennedy. In which case, I have to just go into sniper
No,
stance.
you don't.
And then I just hear buttons start being matched, and then I die.
Dude, you don't have to go into sniper stance. I never made you do that. I never made you do that to me, and it hurts. It hurts that you would even think that I did.
Well, look, after the 5 minutes of mind games and character select, I had to commit to
We
it.
were a character select for 5 minutes.
That's why some games don't let you be there that long. Marvel 3 is like, you got 2 minutes.
Figure it out.
30 seconds, go.
Look, it was pretty much allowed in the tournament because everyone thought it was funny.
That's
And that was it.
That's true.
Everything's allowed.
No, last night, Kennedy, you were playing against Steve, and there was, because you guys both play on stick, and I forget who made the comment, but somebody said, man, it's like he's typing a damn essay over there. There was just so many buttons.
Oh yeah, I mean he was playing a lot of buttons per second character in Raven, and I was not playing Faust at the moment. I was playing Potemkin, so many less buttons were being pressed.
Few buttons.
Very few buttons. The important buttons were being pressed. Oh man. But yeah.
Yeah.
Guilty
Gear.
Gear. Guilty Gear is good.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about Strive?
Strive might not be good.
Look, man, we all want to be Rashid, okay?
We all want to play Street Fighter.
Yeah, why not?
Can't I just play Street Fighter in anime?
Yeah, no, exactly. So, here's the issue with Strive. It's not about stripping away mechanics, right?
Yeah.
Because from Accent Core to Exerd, they also stripped away mechanics, but they stripped away mechanics that were just kind of extraneous and extra and didn't really matter, except for the EX moves. People are still kind of mad about those being gone to this day. But
Yeah, it's kind of weird that there's no EX moves.
yeah, well, it's because they weren't necessarily like an EX version of a pre-existing move. It was like another like really good special move that you got that just cost 25 meter to do.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
at this point, all you have to use for was supers and cancels,
Right.
and nothing else. That
And
just kind of felt weird.
Well, and Blitz Shield and Dead Angle and all that shit.
Well, there's a lot of cancels in Guilty Gear.
Oh yeah.
You're canceling your cancels to cancel your cancels.
Mm-hmm. And it's things like that where I don't mind some of the ways they've simplified Strive, right? So for example, they've kind of got rid of a bunch of mechanics and just replaced them with a different Roman cancel. So there's only like one input you need to know to do these things. It's just about when you use it. That's fine.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not mad at that. Like dead angles are gone, but now if you Roman cancel while shielding, you do essentially a dead angle. Cool. Okay. Like that's a simplification that's fine. But then there's other things. Like let's start with the new air dash, because that's one of the big current elephants in the room is the new air dash. So for those who don't know, instead of it being a old Guilty Gear air dash where it's instant and nice and fast, but you can't act out of it immediately, the new air dash in Strive has a super slow startup time
With a very obvious animation.
with a very obvious animation. So it's really very, very extra, super reactable.
What is it, plus on block?
Is that dash plus, bro? But the big difference is you can act out of it whenever, right? And the argument Daisuke made and I feel like the argument that Daisuke made for the air dash being more deep than the old air dash is exactly what the problem with Strive is, and it's that you are arguably moving depth to other places. Nobody's denying that.
Yeah.
But you're moving it to places that nobody's gonna enjoy, right? So for example, you can act out of the air dash faster. Who cares if the air dash feels worse to use? You know, who cares if it still has utility because I can act out of it immediately after the startup when
You're going to get hit out of it.
yeah, when I'm gonna get anti-air because it's super reactable, or it just feels worse. Same with
The Gatling change.
the Gatling chain, exactly. So, for those of you who don't know, Guilty Gear traditionally has what is called a Gatling combo system where punch or kick leads into slash, leads into heavy slash, leads into dust. Right? That's a chain that you can pretty much every single character across the board can just go straight up. And within that, you can use that to get creative and have multiple different combo routes, right? So things don't get stale. They gutted that in Strive, and
Now it's fighters.
now it's fighters.
Well, it's even more restrictive than fighters.
It's more
right?
restrictive than fighters.
Because you can't combo off of your traditional light options and
No.
punch and kick.
No. You cannot combo off of lights.
That's so dumb.
Well, you
Yeah.
can special cancel.
I mean, you can special
And
cancel,
that's
sure.
about it.
That's it. Yeah, you can special cancel or cancel them into a command normal. So you could do like punch 6p, right? That would work. But the only things that can actually like travel up the scale, it starts at slash, meaning by its very definition, it is going to be a slower game, and you're going to see less combos less often. There's going to be less combo variety, and the thing that really pissed me off is the people who are like just trying to silence anybody who sees this.
It's like, the game's not out yet. You can't judge it till it's out yet.
Because there's people who are like, how do you know there's less combos? Nobody's gotten to lab it yet. When
I mean,
objectively there are.
Yeah, there've been a couple people.
Yeah.
But like, even if you haven't labbed it, objectively speaking, let's like not play the game of whataboutisms and what ifs and we don't knows.
Yeah.
Objectively speaking, less buttons combo into other buttons.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's things like that. It's them taking the wrong lessons out of complaints people had, right? So there was a complaint that people have had in Guilty Gear in the past that they've actually changed in fighters, where there are people who are like, man, mashing to tech sucks.
Yeah.
What if we just held attack? And they did that, and people assumed Strive would have hold attack. Instead, it has no air teching at all. And
ridiculous.
instead, what happens is after a certain number of air hits, the character being hit drops to the ground like a stone and auto tech rolls, and that neutral is reset.
Oh, that's some.
So
that's
there's
Mortal
not a
Kombat
wake up.
11
There's not a wake up game in the air or on the ground anymore.
Oh my
No.
gosh, that's horrible.
And-
I mean, I noticed in XR when I was playing that it took forever for me to get up off the ground when I was knocked down.
Well, it depends on what character you're
That's
playing.
true. I was playing Johnny. So
See,
it
and
might-
again, that's another simplification they made in Strive that I'm not mad of. They got rid of variable wake up timing, where each character wakes up in a different amount of time. Sure, okay,
yeah.
whatever. Who cares? And then there's even changes they made that seem like they wouldn't really matter until they do.
Okay.
Like in previous Guilty Gears, if you wanted to block a grounded attack while you were in the air, you had to spend meter on faultless defense.
Sure.
Right? And there are people who are like, that's not necessary, blah, blah, blah. And they actually gave it a pretty decent trade-off on paper
Sure.
in Strive, where the risk gauge, which is essentially a gauge that gets cranked up whenever you're blocking, and the next time you get hit after your like risk gauge is cranked, if you get opened up, you're eating a bunch of super counter hits.
Yeah.
Yeah. The trade-off is you can block you can block those grounded normals from the air without using meter now.
Sure.
But if you use meter, your risk doesn't get cranked up.
That's interesting.
So, interesting trade-off. But then you watch people who have like had time to lab it out. Like they've gotten some like the best player. I can't remember which event it was. I believe it was like Japan Electronic Expo or something. They had
Okay.
a bunch of the like kind of Guilty Gear legends lab the game out for a day and then like play it for 2 hours in a live stream. I watched all of that, and the thing you can see is what you're going to get at the highest level is when you have people who are good at risk reward management. You're going to get a lot of chicken blocking. And for those who don't know, chicken blocking is when you don't know if you're going to get hit high or low.
Okay.
So you just jump back and block in an anime game. And faultless stopped you from chicken blocking, right? Having to faultless meant you couldn't chicken block without spending a resource.
Yeah.
Whereas now there's a lot of chicken blocking because there's no downside to it outside of your wrist getting cranked up, but you got out of the situation, so who cares?
Well, I mean, I guess it depends on where you are on the stage.
Where you're
right?
on the screen, of course, yeah. You don't really want to be chicken blocking too much in the corner, but...
Well, I mean, even if that happens, right, and you chicken block out, they dash forward because they weren't actually putting you in a situation, and then you get counter hit, because counter hit combos already do almost 50%.
Right, yeah, that's the other thing is, with combos being gone, they've switched over to a fewer hits do big damage sort of model.
I don't like that.
It's bad. It's
too Sam show.
It's too... Oh, you want to talk Sam show? I believe it was Chip dies in like 3 Potemkin busters in Strive currently.
It's like 2.5.
Yeah, like 2.5.
That's ridiculous. That should not.
Like,
that should not happen.
Like a singular Potemkin buster does more than a third of his health. And this is like what we're talking about. They don't want air combos to exist. So Soul has a move called the Wild Throw. It's a classic move where he grabs you, he slams you down, and then he can hit you with a jump cancel normal to start an air combo, right?
Sure.
They got rid of that and they made it just a throw. So you just throw and then you do a third of their health.
That's a lot less interesting. I'd rather like the combo max out at like 40%
Then
take a flat damage. It makes the game more dynamic to watch. It makes the game more dynamic to play.
Exactly.
And I'm all for dynamism in my fighting games.
Oh yeah.
Well, you don't even have that. You have kind of the pseudo removal of corner combos. I don't know if you know about that, Aaron.
I don't.
Okay.
I haven't been keeping
So
up
can
on
you explain this better than I can?
Essentially, you know how in anime games in general, you want to get them in that corner and then you want to mix their shit?
Oh yeah. Yeah, like in FighterZ, how it's like, hey, let me just block string you to not infinity anymore. Thank you for nerfing Gohan.
Yes.
And just it's like, yeah, so let's just climb the corner.
Right.
Yep.
So, that's gone in Strive. The new system is that when you do a combo in the corner, your opponent will hit the wall, and once you exceed, I believe, 3 hits in the combo? 3?
It's 3 hits that cause them to hit the wall.
Yeah,
It's
3.
Not all moves do.
Not all moves do, but 3 hits that cause them to hit the wall.
On the
boy.
3rd one, they break the wall,
In
and you have
neutral.
a stage transition.
Oh god,
And
this
you
is
re-
Injustice 2.
And you reset to the start positions.
Now, it's really great because there's the people who were trying to tell people not to be worried and not to complain, who were like, there, and it was super condescending too, because there was people who played it and were like, you don't have to break the wall, you can let them slide down, and then you can do Oki, right? Oki isn't dead, and then it turns out that when
kinda
people got
dead.
to lab the game more, you can tech the wall slide if you don't break the corner. So you actually have no choice but to break the corner if you're doing that. And I mean, it's ridiculous which moves break it, man. Like, it'd be one thing if, like, there were enough moves that didn't break it that you could still do something saucy in the corner. But, like,
Almost any special
almost any...
does it.
Chip's Shuriken breaks it.
I didn't know that one.
That little light, slow-moving Shuriken that just barely does any damage and taps you, that shit breaks it.
That's ridiculous.
And,
That's
man.
ridiculous.
Oh, and it's funny I mentioned Chip because Chip, just because of his character-specific systems, I might end up being a Chip player because he's in Strive, because he seems like the only character who still gets to play Guilty Gear sometimes.
Yeah, that's one thing I've been worried about in terms of Guilty Gear, right? Due to all the changes.
Yeah.
I'm not too worried about people like Kai and Soul because their general game plan can kind of transfer over.
Right.
I'm more worried about some of the more different characters.
Exactly.
Right? So, like,
The
how would
schmixy
how
stuff.
would Venom work?
He wouldn't.
Yeah, he wouldn't, right?
How does Milia work if you throw the pin and then you can stage transition? Does the pin just go away? Does she not get it back? Does she get it back automatically on stage transition?
Oh.
Yeah, it's definitely taken a lot of the options out of the game. For
Exactly.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that can be a little messed up. Like, and I'm hearing a lot of the same complaints for Strive that I heard from Mortal Kombat X to Mortal Kombat 11.
Right. Okay.
It's like, okay, so we're gonna take what we learned from Injustice 2, which was zoning bad, and like meter gains probably a bit excessive on projectiles, and instead they're like, hey, what if we just replaced meter with a consistently recharging bar
Yeah.
and 2 separate divisions? It's like, I'm tired of having to manage meter for EX moves versus meter for my like air escapes and stuff. And it's like, okay, 2 separate meters. That's fine. You know, I like that system. I never use my defensive meter because defense is for bitches, but
True.
I mean that's just me playing a grappler.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's what Kano does. I'm gonna EX my command grab every time because it's just better than not.
Mm-hmm.
And so what they did was, first of all, they took away the run, and the run is a Mortal Kombat staple. It's been around since Mortal Kombat, maybe Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, but definitely the original classic era of Mortal Kombat.
Right.
It wasn't in Mortal Kombat 9 because they were still getting used to the system, and NetherRealm was a new dev. And then in Mortal Kombat X, they brought it back. And run cancel combos were the name of the game.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
rushdown was incredibly oppressive. You had characters like Johnny Cage who had like 18 hit block strings. that all you had to do
Delicious.
was just mash 2 buttons and you got a free block string, and it was really good. And then you had some crazy stuff like 40-50% combos with characters like Sector and Takeda if you had run cancels, or even Bo Raicho had ridiculous run cancel combos.
Okay.
And then in Mortal Kombat 11, they're like, hey, we're gonna slow the game down. We're gonna like zoom the camera in so that zoning isn't as oppressive, which was a fantastic thing. Deadshot and Dr. Fate and Starfire were problems from Injustice 2. They just were. Jade is still a problem in Mortal Kombat 11 because she zones and she's the only character that does effectively.
And you have those NetherRealms projectiles where they don't touch.
Well, that and she has anti-zoning.
Yeah, she has
abilities.
Yeah,
Hell.
She has a stance where projectiles don't hit her.
Yeah.
Wait, excuse me?
It's
Yeah.
not a stance.
Well, I guess
It's an effect that she can put on herself where projectiles just don't deal damage to her.
Yeah, they just go through her.
However, she has 2 of the strongest projectiles in the game. She's got a fast-moving, on-the-ground projectile that crumples, and she
designed this game?
NetherRealm.
What the fuck?
American
American balance.
Yeah. I mean, relatively, every character is playable. No character is unviable.
Mm.
Even the least viable of characters, which I think right now is still Kotal Khan, they are still playable.
Mm.
The problem is, and I'm not going to say Jade's the best character in the game, because she's not. There are better characters.
Right.
However, at low levels, which is the level I'm playing at right now, which is a lot of online and also, like, I'm not high level NetherRealm local. I'm sorry, Matt, you're not as good as you think you are. Jade has a really strong uppercut, and if you've ever played a Mortal Kombat game, you know that the uppercut is the crux of neutral.
It's what it is.
Yeah, it's the uppercut. Yeah, her uppercut has the longest range in the game,
Okay.
and they introduced a crushing blow system in this game.
Right.
So the way crushing blows work is, and I'm just going to explain it for the down two or your uppercut, because that's really all that matters in this scenario. But if you punish or counter hit a high
Mm.
with your
You're down to.
with your uppercut, you're down two, you get a launcher, just a free launcher,
Okay.
and it also does about 25% damage.
Wait, the uppercut by
The
itself?
uppercut by itself.
Okay.
You get a free combo off it too. Now it does have NetherRealms increasing, like it's scaling gravity, which is nice. I like the scaling
I
gravity.
like scaling gravity.
Yeah.
There's another fighting game that does that, but I will never fucking touch it. Is that what's that one pony one? That was fighting herds. Yeah, that does that. That does like that. Instead of your combo just dropping up a certain number of hits, you can like extend it as long as you could figure out how to hit them at the higher and higher gravity.
Yeah.
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 I'm never playing that shit.
Yeah. No, so there's some crazy stuff that can be done, but yeah, Jade has so hers is really long range, and it's kind of ridiculous. It's like, yeah, let me just throw out a poke. Oh, what's that? My jaw's broken and I'm flying across the screen? That's fun. I didn't realize that long range meant good in this game.
I'm assuming like a high also means a jump in then. Yeah.
It's a standing high.
Okay, it's only standing guys. I'm going to say if the,
Yeah, no.
because from what I understand, the uppercut is meant to anti-air. And if you just take 25%,
No, it's not anti-airs, but any standing high. It's the big thing that actually nerfed Scorpion's teleport when they
Okay.
made that a high. It's punishable like this.
oh, so you could just duck and
Yeah, exactly. And
it's
it's
spicy.
yeah, you get free combos off of their teleport.
Okay.
It's really good for changing the momentum of the game, and that's what I like about Crushing Blows. They change the momentum of the game. However, when you have a character like Jade, who has a really strong double-hitting air projectile, and it's fast out of the air, and the grounded version is less fast but still good and can hit multiple times, and then you have this dumb ground projectile, and then she has the projectile immunity. It's like, what am I even fighting here? Am I
Yeah.
even supposed to play the game?
What am I supposed to do to you?
Exactly. It'd be like if in Injustice 2, Deadshot was immune to projectiles because he has a gun.
Elfelt.
Yeah, so I mean that's the kind of gameplay we're dealing with here. And you know, I love Mortal Kombat 11. I think it's really interesting when you get some down and dirty combos, and of course, I play Kano, so all of my combos are down and dirty and a little bit degenerate.
You have to.
I have to. I'm playing the degenerate character. Degenerate in his character, not degenerate in his gameplay. If he were degenerate in his gameplay, he'd actually be good. Yeah, so I'm seeing a lot of similar complaints to Strive. Because, like, again, in X, you had crazy run cancel combos, and now it's like, yeah, I'm just going to uppercut and deal all that damage. Or I'm going to play Gearus and punish you for 35% with a single hit.
The thing is, like, and most Guilty Gear combos aren't hard. They just took more effort than some of the stuff people are saying in Strive. Because after they got those, like, really legendary Japanese players to lab it, and they actually came back with combos, like real combos, they were still always using the same one. And people were like, well, they only had a night to lab, man. It's like, oh, yes, these legendary players who've been playing Guilty Gear
Since the first one.
since Guilty Gear.
Yeah.
Totally they were only able to find one combo in a night. It's not that there's just one thing that works
It's
and is
just
good.
the best.
Yeah. Like, for example, there's like a Potemkin thing where it's like, if he gets counter hit shoulder in Strive, he could do shoulder, flick, like 4 times in a row, and it is 60%. Why? Oh, man. And then, like, that's even ignoring, like, these are, like, system level changes we're talking about, but even the character specific changes, where it's just taking away outs. Like, Potemkin's a great example. So, Potemkin has a move, and he's always had it called Heat Knuckle, right?
Okay.
Heat Knuckle is an anti-air command grab. In Strive, they made it not a command grab. What one of Potemkin's big mental game, like the first thing you learn when you're playing Potemkin, is that like armored.
Oh,
that armored.
the armored
clamp,
clamping the punches together overhead. Yeah,
Hammerfall.
For those people that aren't watching because we don't have a camera.
we're doing the
We're doing the thing. If you know Guilty Gear, you know it's that thing Potemkin does where he fist bumps himself.
Yeah. So Hammerfall, and one of the biggest thing you do is Hammerfall, yellow Roman cancel, and then
It's guess time.
Yeah, it's guess time because you can either hit them, you can pot buster them, or if you read that they think you're going to pot buster and they jump, you can heat knuckle them out of the air.
Sure.
I've been hit by that a couple times.
My apologies. So the thing is, now that it is no longer a command grab in Strive, there's one option that's always right, which is chicken block. And then it's like, but here's the thing, like people made the argument, oh, but it's plus. It's like, okay, yeah, it's plus, cool. I made the right read. Why do I have to make the right read twice to succeed?
That's ridiculous. And I know FighterZ is a very stripped down combo system. It's like you do the same stuff over and over.
Right.
And it's a different by character basis. It's like, oh, do I want to do my level 1 or my level 3? But for the most part, it's whatever you can to get as high as you can in the air.
Yeah, unless you get into very specific, like optimal character combos.
Then
they diverge some.
Like Yamcha.
Until the optimization station comes out.
Yeah, but normally you're going to do some version of a jump cancel,
Yeah.
some aerial jump cancel.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
You might have like a relaunch or something like that.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's like Yamcha, right? Because I know, Brandon, you play a lot of Yamcha. And Yamcha is...
A little bit.
Yeah, Yamcha's very plus.
A Yamcha connoisseur even.
Look, people, it's just 5H. He doesn't have... There's nothing really else there.
I mean, at the same time, he's got good schmicks.
I mean... Yeah, I guess it's better now because you had the cross-up before.
Yeah.
Right? So you have left-right insta-guess.
Yeah.
Which they did nerf a while ago, but it's still real fast. But they recently added tit grabs off of standing lights, so now you have to guess, which granted jab gets you out of all three options of tit grab. I don't think it gets you out of non-cross-up, but it does get you out of cross-up.
Okay.
But if I just hit light again, I'm just going to hit you out of it.
Yeah, because lights, I assume, are plus.
Well, it's more just do with the auto combo.
Oh, yeah.
The second hit will come out first.
Yum.
That's true.
Damn.
Who doesn't love a good old-fashioned auto combo? It's funny because that's the biggest thing people are afraid of with Strive, and it's the one fucked thing they didn't do. Like, everyone was like, oh, fuck, there's going to be auto combos, man.
Well, they're probably... I was expecting at least one off of, like, stand punch.
I mean, not really, because Guilty Gear has simple mode, and I believe they confirmed simple mode is coming back.
Well, that's why I thought they would get rid of it and just kind of put it in as the auto combos off of, like, punch and kick.
Yeah.
Was what I expected them to do, but that was before the Gatling change announcement.
Before everything else, before the Fire Nation attack, big homie.
That's
I can't handle it. But yeah, I have no doubts Strive will be a good video game.
But will it be a good Guilty Gear game?
Absolutely not. It's going to be, unless some big things are overhauled, which I don't think they will be, because
the game is supposed to come out this year.
The game is supposed to come out this year, and every time they talk to the devs seem very, very, very...
Just change the UI.
They seem very committed. But at the very least, give us just some good old-fashioned Guilty Gear Metal UI, man.
I can't see the risk bar.
I can't see and risk is the most important gauge in the game now. And you can't fucking see it. Because, and I quote, and this is why the thing, it's like, people think simplification means everyone's an idiot, and so we need to treat them like idiots. Right? And that's not how you should simplify fighting games.
No.
Because Daisuke, and like, that's how I feel every time Daisuke goes into an interview and talks about how they came to their conclusions. Like, for the risk gauge, it was straight up an interview, we didn't want to scare people with too many meters.
But that's what Guilty Gear is. Guilty Gear is too many meters of the game.
Yeah. Or, for example, with the whole no more air teching and no more air teching, you just drop to the ground and it'll tech on the ground. He straight up said that, so he's, like I said earlier, he said in an interview, people said they wanted hold to tech because tech, having to match tech could air pressure could be oppressive for new players. So we just dialed back airplay in general. Like, how was that the conclusion you came to? And that's why I'm so tired of the people who are like, he made all the good Guilty. He was the director behind all the good Guilty Gears. Why don't you trust him to make this one good? It's like, because he's not giving me reasons to.
Yeah, he's not making it good.
And it's like, and people say that like there haven't been bad Guilty Gears before. People are saying that like this isn't the same brain behind Guilty Gear as Suka.
Yeah, every franchise has had bad games. Street Fighter Cross Tekken. Street Fighter EX.
Now, Street Fighter EX, hold on. Hold on. There's some shit there. There is some shit there.
Actually, I haven't heard of a bad Tekken game, so I can't say every franchise, but I'm sure they exist.
Yeah,
But,
the Tekken players don't like the... like Tekken Tag. Tekken players don't fucking like it. At least Tag 2.
I love
the issue with Tag 2 is they had it for forever before any new game. It had for like 6 years or something like that. They had for like 6 years, and just Mishimas were top tier because the game was based around launchers.
Yeah.
And it was a tag game, but I haven't played Tag 2 in a while.
I played it like 3 days ago.
Now, when one character dies, you lose.
Yeah.
And with Mishimas in, if you land an electric, you get like 70%.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. That said, there's a kangaroo in that game.
Yes.
And
Roger.
Yeah, Roger Jr.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, because Full Roger probably... Yeah.
And a dinosaur with boxing gloves. And if that is not the most...
From Tekken 3?
No, that's not Gon. That's Alex.
It's Alex.
But bring
It's a
back
different
Gon.
one.
Bring back Gon, absolutely.
There's some amazing... You can play as Law twice.
Yep.
You can play as...
Bob twice.
You can play as Bob twice. Skinny Bob. Because... Skinny Bob for Tekken 7, Harada. Skinny Bob for Tekken 7.
Oh, Tekken 7 is getting to that point pretty soon now. That game's been around for a hot minute.
Yeah, this is 4th or 5th year in EVO.
4th or 5th year in EVO, and
the numbers are still growing.
I believe 6 years out.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because it was only out in arcades for a while.
Yeah, but they were bringing arcade machines to EVO so they could play
Yes.
it.
Yeah, it's a fantastic game. I'm excited to see it grow. I'm really excited for the new DLC character, the Muay Thai guy, dubbed by the fans, Fuck Your Mom.
Fakaram. Yeah, Fakaram, yeah.
Fakaram. Yeah. No, this podcast is going to get censored as shit.
No, it's fine.
Look, you knew this coming in.
I knew this coming in,
When
yeah.
we had Kennedy here, we knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, but... Yeah, every time I think about Tekken, I just think about if what Harada says about Cross Street Fighter being real still is true.
Yeah.
He keeps swearing up and down that Cross Street Fighter still exists.
He's like, yeah, we're going to do it after we do Tekken 7. If Tekken 7 makes a lot of money, we'll do it. It's like, bro,
Which it did. It sold like 5 million copies.
Oh, yeah, no, it's
Tekken 7 has made like $3 billion.
The thing that he says every time is, I don't want to cannibalize. We don't want to cannibalize our own game.
Which is why we're going to wait for like another 2 or 3 years before
And
we
then we're
see
gonna-
anything more from Tekken.
And then we're going to announce Cross Street Fighter.
And nobody's going to play it.
And nobody's going to play it. Nah,
People will play it.
people will trust... Look,
Actually, people trust Harada a lot more than they trust some other developers. Yeah.
man, fuck Ono, honestly. Fuck Ono. I hate Ono. Me and my niggas hate Ono.
I'm ready though. I'm ready for that Mortal Kombat Cross Street Fighter. Let's see that. Let's do both. I want to see Akuma's head on a stick. I want to see Scorpion getting put in his place by a Hadouken.
Oh, my chest. Oh, these projectiles. They collide. Oh,
My spear can't cut through this ice ball.
Oh, no.
My teleport's much slower.
I have to block a cross-up.
Oh, you mean like Injustice?
Yeah, like Injustice.
He's like, oh no, this is like that one time I fought Superman, but not in a Mortal Kombat game. We're not going to talk about Mortal Kombat DC today.
Hello? Why not? That game is,
Because we're
The
at
Rage.
I was going to say we're at time.
Oh, we're at time.
We're at time. All right.
Moral of the story. Strive will probably be a good game, but it'll probably be a bad Guilty Gear game. And I'm a sad boy. That's okay.
All right. Well, thank you all for listening to Wake Up Options presented by Miami University Fighters Guild. Make sure to like and subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Spotify. If you have any other questions, feel free to tweet us at MU Fighters Guild. MU, F, and G are capitalized. And that's on Twitter.
And again, the opinions contained here within this podcast are not representative of the university at large or the organization. They're just our opinions because we're just a bunch of college
We're
students.
just guys being dudes.
Yeah, exactly. We are
gotta cover
dudes being
ourselves.
guys. All right. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Good night, everybody, or good morning. I don't care.